r/AskReddit. A genie grants you immortality under the condition you choose one possible but improbable way you can be killed. What is your immortality loophole? If I shoot myself, but only in the head. That way, if I ever get tired of living, I can just end it. But I'd never accidentally shoot myself in the head. Same. But it has to be with a pink gun. In the left temple. And on a Tuesday for it to work. But, what happens if you become incapacitated or stuck somewhere without access to feminine firearms or calendars? You can't be stuck for eternity. So I would also die if I counted to 10. 000 in my head, then recited the happy birthday song to myself twice. What if someone tells you to count the candles on your 10th birthday and then you sing the happy birthday song in your head to follow along? But the camera wasn't ready. So you do it twice. Edit. Apparently my top comment is now about suicide by candle. Thrown into an active volcano between the hours of noon and 4 PM on leap day. You'd be even more ducked if it wasn't leap day. That's actually an extremely good point. Yikes. They would have to draw a dark magic circle under me. Recite a specific 100 number string while I stand there and listen to it uninterrupted. After that they would slit my throat while holding a live chicken and read the book 1984 backwards. Only then will I have been slain. Too difficult. Would just encase your feet and lead and drop you in the ocean to let you drown forever. Are you also holding a van of soup? If there was this snail. See? That was also immortal. And if the snail touched me, I'd die. But how would you keep this supposed immortal snail away? It's a better story this way. Especially if they don't know which snail it is. Eaten by a dinosaur. I wouldn't even be mad. You'd be dead. No time to be mad. My favorite dinosaur is the Smegmasaurus. I die when all the games in my Steam library are completed. I like this one because one day, you decide you don't want to live anymore and go on another mortal lifelong mission to complete each game. Finding new purpose for life in your attempt to die. Then, just as you're about to best the last game, the final collectible in your grasp, you look around and somewhat reluctantly close the game. You step away from your computer for the first time in years. Desk surrounded by filth and trash. You walk out of your room to see the seaside ranch home you purchased after your third lifetime as a successful musician, whose career was cut short by a tragic diving accident and your body never recovered until shaped by the years. You walk around your extravagant home. Attend to all the collectibles an immortal life has brought you. Material possessions filling your home. No. Your house. This hasn't been a home in years. You decide to go outside. Your age and physical status, that of an active 30-something. Even though you're well over 200 years old. Your first walk in decades. Is it really time? Has that day come? What was the rest of the world like? What year was it? Does it matter? You want to die, don't you? You make it back to the house around dawn. It's cold on the coast this time of year. But the weather has never fazed you. Not even when you did that river float in Alaska with only your backpack and a small raft. You're not hungry. Though you never have been before. Even though you studied under Italy's top chefs just over 50 years ago. You don't feel like sleeping. Even though you haven't in about a decade. So what do you want to do? You sit back at your desk as the sun begins to rise over the ocean. A large window specifically facing east, a very important detail 2 lifetimes ago when you had this place built. How many sunrises have you seen now? It doesn't really matter, does it? The past 1000 or so have only fueled the drive to finish those 1000 games. What do you want to do? You ask yourself this. A question you've previously had no problem answering. But now, you slouch in your chair and look down at your shirt. Something you'd imagine would be in a worse state by now, having not changed for God knows how long. You sit as the sun rises. The light shines on your face as you glare against the sun, ready to close the curtains as you've done countless times before. And it hits you. The sun on your face. Muscles activated after so long. You feel it. You're ready. This is a lifetime culmination you've been working toward for so long. It's this moment. You boot up the game, reload the save, and prepare yourself. You print off the letter you prepared in Word 2000. Or was it 2020? Oh well. Someone would eventually find this place and would want to know what happened to this man who lived 100 lives. You lay the letter down on the table in your foyer. You wouldn't want someone to walk in and see whatever lies behind your bedroom door unprepared. Hundreds of years of life can't culminate into a pretty death. You find your way back to your desk. The sun is shining now. But that's okay. For some reason. It feels good today. Today is a new day. And tomorrow, that will finally not be the case. You look at the screen. The hidden Easter egg sitting just in front of you. Just one button from no tomorrow. It's time. You reach out and grab it. 100 hundredths collectibles found. You sit back. Smile. The time has come. You're ready. The game flourishes its congratulations. But nothing happens. This can't be. This was supposed to be the moment. You save. Close the game. And go to Steam. 100% completion. This was supposed to be it. What could have gone wrong? You pore over the list in your library. A list you haven't checked in years. After installing each and every game, when you decided to make this final push. 18 TB of every type of game on Steam imaginable. You check the list. Games. 1094. Installed. 1093. You spend the next 15 minutes checking for that one grayed out name. The one thing standing between you and your final choice. Bad Rats. A gag gift from your friend that cost $0.13 during the Steam summer sale back in 2013. You remember the exact inscription from all those years ago. Now this hit game will be in your library forever. Cheers. Ducker. Titus. You sit back. And you cry. You cry because you can't manage anything else. The first feeling in what must be decades. You laugh. You stand up and throw your chair to the ground. Tears of joy streaking your face. It feels so incredible. So intoxicating. After the shock settles, the realization hits. Do you really want to die? You sure as hell don't want to play Bad Rats. No. Maybe this life needs one more chance. You made it worth it before. Didn't you? You took a step back and decided what you were going to make your life out to be. You committed to it. Your life. To love. To experience. You can do it again. You click the start button on your desktop. Your home screen, one of your photographs from one of your many world tours. India. Maybe that's where you'll start. Who knows where? Who cares? It doesn't really matter. Does it? You click shutdown. Edit. Wow. Just wow. Reading through all of your comments is truly overwhelming. In the best of ways. Thank you everybody for your kind words. It really means a lot. Also my first gold. Thank you strangers friends. This is the first time I've done anything like this on here. But if what you all say is true, maybe I'll look into participating in r/reading prompts. There seems to be some really cool content over there. Above all though, thank you for making my 4 AM toilet inspiration something this moving. From my toilet to yours 3. Wow. Best morning hit break I've had in weeks. Good job. Arrow to my heel. Simpsons did it. Oh wait. Wrong Homer. Edit. Just kidding. Wasn't in the Iliad. I've just been wanting to make that joke forever and this is the closest I've ever gotten. Edit again. Holy crap. Gold. I don't actually know what that does, but I know that's cool as hell. Thanks. I like it. A small thermal exhaust port. Carrot, the butt. And the ears is ray shielded. So you'll have to use proton torpedoes. I can only be killed by someone who is not born a woman. And only after Great Burnham Wood to High Dunsinane Hill shall come against me. Am I gonna dress these soldiers in ghillie suits? See? And get this guy who was born via C-section to lead them. Then I'll write a play about it. This guy Macbeth. Say gosh that Italian family at the next table over sure is quiet. But it must be said unironically. Possible. I'll spontaneously combust when Half-Life 3 gets released. Dies tomorrow. That's the best part, because tomorrow never comes. By being sent into the sun. Pretty hard to do accidentally and a cool way to guarantee to get into space. Pretty hard to do intentionally to be fair. Well, You just have to get something that gives you enough propulsion to get into space. You don't even need life support systems or anything. You can't die anyway. It would take a hella long time though. Edit. I get it. It's stuck hard to stay en route to the sun. D. Having the greatest orgasm any living being has ever experienced. I'd say that's a pretty awesome way to die. Twist. You die at the very beginning of it. Not really the greatest then, is it? I can only be killed by myself from the future. This is kind of scary. Immortality is not the same as being resistant to pain. As long as you have functioning nerves you could still feel pain. We have to assume it means regeneration of tissue when it dies. As well as immunity to things like cancer. What happens if I fall into a pit of lava and it solidifies with me inside it, or somehow end up drifting through space? Something improbable would have to kill me to end my eternal suffering. I can't say I die if I wish to die, because the universe will eventually undergo heat death and my atoms would be ripped from each other. I would then regenerate and have all my atoms ripped apart again. Eternal suffering, so there is a large chance I would wish to die. So it is very probable I would eventually sincerely wish to die. So I can't pick that. It also has to be something that I would be able to do to myself at any point. It also has to be improbable that I can actually do it. I also have to be able to remember what it is potentially millions or billions of years from now, where language will change. So I shouldn't use words. Math will never change, so let's use math. So let's say I have to sincerely wish to die. I have to believe that I'm suffering too much to want to live. I have to then count to 10 in my head, starting at 0, not 1. I have to then think of a 50 plus digit positive integer that I don't know if it is prime or not already. If it is prime, I die. If not, I must count from 0 to 10 again and try again. Chances of me correctly guessing a prime are low. That makes it improbable. You clearly put a lot of thought into this. Also, your continual reappearance would keep the heat death from occurring, because you would keep adding more energy. Unless your previous matter and energy were returned to you for reassembly. In that case you would remain a local anomaly. A closed system that constantly resets itself, but unable to affect the rest of the universe. Hanging myself while wearing a Badman-on-C while I wank and fight a TMNT Pinata. I can only die once Leonardo drops the candy. This is the first thing I do in the morning. Me too, but I have yet to get the candy out. It's hard to swing a stick while hanging by your neck. Only a superhero can kill me. Because to be honest, if I'm ever in a situation where a superhero is about to kill me, A, I'm probably a supervillain, and B, that would be a ducking awesome way to die. Turns out the superheroes rise in 2021, but they're thoroughly unimpressive and peenish. You accidentally insult Milkman and he uses his lactokinesis powers to drown you. People assume you were a bad guy because Hello Superhero killed you, and you're forever immortalized as a Z-list villain. The Shotgun Sniper. Milkman gets his own film in 2034 which is critically panned, and you're killed off unceremoniously in the first act. Genie laughs and calls you a rich. Lactokinesis. You laugh. Watch Misfits. There's a kid, the lactokinesis, who becomes famous, then gets jealous of one of the main characters, who is immortal, and his fame. Then goes on a killing spree using his powers. Sat on by 4 elephants while having sex with hot blonde identical quadruplets. Do you read Sandman? Yes, I have. Bro, you made it to the end. You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.